everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. I have a sweet little summer card for you today, and it's kind of, well, it's a sweet card, and it literally is a sweet card. I didn't intend to play on words until I just said it. It is a combination of sweets that play together really well, and not only that, it's sometimes when I'm using a couple of these sweets, I get confused on which parts are of which sweet. So the stamps are part of the Florals in Bloom. So I'm going to show you mostly things that are part of this suite because it's a large suite and there's lots of it. And you could make everything, well, it doesn't have any ribbon, but you could do everything just from the suite. But I'm going to show you the ways that I mixed it up because still this June, Stampin' Up's having a special that if you, I have my eyes itch, my allergies are so bad. The silly cottonwoods floating around. Sometimes it looks like it's snowing out there. If you purchase a whole suite or anything that has ever been part of a suite or is currently in a suite, you can get a like item or a lesser priced item for half off. So if you purchase a suite, you can get another suite half off. Or if you purchase a bundle, you can get another bundle half off. It takes a little bit of looking at your order so you make sure you get the best deal. But if you purchase 2 bundles, one of your bundles half off. If you purchase a whole order of all ribbons that were part of a suite or all embellishments that were part of a suite or all papers that were parts of suites. So it's a great time to mix and match and kind of look and see what you want. So I'm going to show you Florals in Bloom. I'm going to show you some samples. And then I'm going to, when we do the card, I'll talk about the way I mixed and matched. So this has a Florals in Bloom die. The first of these are all swaps that I've gotten. And I think most of them came from the Disney trip. Some of them may have come from an event that I did, a demonstrator event in Northern Indiana, but I don't think so. I think that most of them came from Disney. Actually, I think that's a card club. I made that one. So this one you can see is a fun fold, and it has the paper and the dies that are part of the Florals in Bloom suite. This one has, and sometimes I still have to look at them. This is another fun fold. So none of these have tutorials because now this one is Bloom Impressions. So I'm going to use the Bloom Impressions paper and see it's a little bit, the flowers in Bloom Impressions are these are a little bit more airy. Like there's not, you can see there's not as much fine detail. Like this has all the little lines. That's how I've been able, if I pick up a pack of paper and I'm trying to put the cut up pieces back into those big sleeves I use, I'm like, which one is that? And that's finally how I figured it out. So on today's card, I'm going to use the stamps from this set, but I'm using the paper from over here, and you'll see that when I do it. So this is Bloom Impressions. The dies, though, would mix and match because they're all floral and they're all pretty similar. This one here is also the Bloom Impressions. This is what, if you are in my card club, this is what we're using. We used it in May. And then this one here is back to, and this is a mix and match too. This just has the paper that is part of this one. You can see this sheet of paper here. So it's a Florals in Bloom. It's a really pretty card. So these are ones I got from Swaps. This is Card Club. So if you're in Card Club, you saw that one. This was our Try It class card, if you did Try It class. And this was the, this one is an online exclusive, so it's hard because I can't show it to you in the catalog. And then this one is this here. It doesn't use the paper, but it does use the ribbon I'm using today, and this is on the clearance corner. But today I'm using the white. It comes, I didn't want to show it to you because it's on the clearance corner. It's a great ribbon because it will mix and match with this paper, even though it's the in color suite. The petal pink goes well with the oranges because it's Timid Tiger, and this is kind of like pumpkin pie, Timid Tiger, petal pink. It kind of goes down that, and it has white. So I'm using the white on today's card, but it is on the clearance corner. And then this one uses the folder, which is part of the cocktail suite, so you can get it as part of the special. I used it on my sample card, but this is Cheers and Sips is my current card club folder, and it's downstairs because my husband was cutting paper for this month's club, so I don't have it. And then each month when you purchase from me, if you purchase just $20, you get a special video. And if you purchase more than that, then I don't remember what the total is, then you get a video along with the supplies to follow along with. And so I'm just going to show you real quick because those were this month. I'm going to try to often tie products together. It doesn't mean they'll be the same suite necessarily. Could be the same stamps, could be the same paper, could be the same embellishment or dies. I'll try to tie them together. But this month I did work with Florals and Bloom, and that's another reason I'm showing one more way to use it. So here's one of the ones that we did. And then here's another one. This is the one they got the supplies to follow along and make. So let's do this card, and then I'll show you the ways that I tied this together. So I'm going to just use the stamps. This was one we did at my in-person camp. I think that was last week. I don't know. My days are blurring together. I think once I get past this week and I'm almost ready to send the beautiful gallery class out, and then I don't do any online classes in July and August. I have not for the last few years. I give myself a little bit of break in the summer so I can enjoy my family and enjoy our pool. But this year I think it's going to be taken up with taking care of my dad. But thankfully I won't be running behind on stuff to you guys because I only do club and then like my thank you things. And I'll have some videos up. I don't have very many videos online this week because I did do those ones for those of you that purchased from me. So you guys all got things. So we're going to start with a base of Blackberry Bliss. This is a very, oh look, my nails are supposed to be Pacer Blue, but when it's up against this purple cardstock, it looks like I have purple nails. So Blackberry Bliss, but we did this at my in-person event. And then here's where this other paper, because I wanted to do a purple card and I wanted the stamps that I was going to do to use the designer series paper, and there wasn't an other side in the paper that I wanted to use that had purple. Nobody says you have to stick to the same suite, right? So I just looked at the ones, and this has Fresh Freesia, and it's a little bit too big. But I have another one over here. Let's see if they're both too big. It could be that this is too small, so I'll just trim that in just a second. You don't have to watch me do that. And then I have a sheet of white that I've done here. And then this is where on the other one I used the Garden and Glass from the Tears and Sips suite. This is the corrugated, and it is also part of a suite. It is from an online exclusive suite. But it was upstairs and my other one's downstairs, so I just swapped. So I'm going to layer it like this. I'll trim that off camera. And then let's stamp. So I'm going to start with the words. And no, I'll end with the words because that's the last color I need to use. So I'm going to start with my flowers, and I want them to all look a little bit different. So I chose 3 purples. I did not choose Fresh Freesia, and I think we were using it on a different card at camp. Sometimes you choose the color based on what you're already using. So I have Gorgeous Grape, I have Petunia Pop, and I have Berry Burst. So in order to make them look a little bit different, I'm going to start, and I'm going to just kind of roll this like that. And then we'll just go over here to this color, and I want to get the places that I didn't get and kind of roll it the other way. And I'm going to start here in the middle. Just tap on it. And I'm just going to rub that off there. And then for this one, I'll start on Gorgeous Grape. I'm going to do it a little bit of a different angle. And which one was this one? Petunia Pop. We'll do kind of a half and half on it. You want to make sure some of your colors just overlap. You don't want to do too much because you don't want to get one pad dirty if you're going from dark to light. And then let's start with Petunia Pop. I just kind of work my way down so they're all a little bit different. Get this one a little bit. And each time I just kind of get that off of there. And let's do this. I'm also making sure that they don't go perfectly straight up because I'm not that good of a stamper. And if I got 4 of them straight up, then I could bet that the last one would not be straight up, and then it would be like, oh great, look at that. And there would be one that was crooked. So we get 3 on this one as well. So if you intentionally don't do them straight, then it looks a little bit better. So there we have our row of flowers. So we're done with these purples. If you have a hard time opening your stamp pads, if you slide them in, then just don't slide them in. And my hands are still, you know, I'm getting up there, but my hands are still fairly strong. It's just, I don't like to grab the end and get my nails all dirty. So I just never pop mine in. I just lay them like this and they work just fine. And then I'll have to worry about putting them back together. So now I have Lemon Lime Twist and Shaded Spruce. I'm going to do the same thing with my stems. And the reason I started with these is because I don't care if the stems go off the bottom. If you start with the stems, then you might have your flowers go off the top. And do half colors on this. But you do want to ink most of it because you don't know exactly how far down these are going to go. And you may get a little bit of ink on your ink pads. It eventually works itself out. If it's driving you crazy, you can take a tissue and just sop up where you can see that you got color. And just try to always go back on the same spot. When you go dark to light, you're not going to see it. So if you try to mostly start on your light pad, it's less likely to happen. So now we've got those done with the greens. I've had these pads set aside to do these for over a week. Although I've not had the kind of week where I needed them because Beautiful Gallery did not call for these colors. And then we have 2 things on here. We have this little piece that has its 2-step stamping. So when we do the Blackberry Bliss over the top, it's really going to give the definition to these. I'm going to have to scoot it down so I can see better. And it doesn't have to be perfect because, oops, but it is one of the easier ones to line up. Now that I've said that, I'm sure to mess it up. I didn't add Wink of Stella or anything to this. We did at camp, if you saw my USA banner, that was also one of our projects, and I knew that one was going to take a little bit longer. So all of our other projects were pretty fast. Now let's go back to this, although I do need to trim it. Hang on. I don't want to stamp it and then have to trim part of my words off. It didn't need much off. Make sure this is going to fit. Perfect. My other one, it's exactly the length of the card, but I don't want to take time to measure right now. And this says, wishing you all the best. This is from, I think it's called Sentimental Frames, which is sitting there ready. It was ready to use that, and the washi tape one was. But because they did the sweet sale, they got moved out of their rotation because I wanted you to see things that you could buy right now that are on sale. They will get put back in. So this goes here. And this is going to run out, but I have, whoops, a spare to fill it with if I don't make it through this card. I hate refilling it before I film when I can see it's there because I hate wasting tape. So I just want to put this right down next to the words. maybe we're gonna make it. And put this here. And then we'll get our ribbon. That, remember, is on clearance, but it is also was part of a suite. I'm trying to remember what suite it was part of. I don't remember. So make sure that if you order it this month, and it could sell out because it's on clearance. But remember, it could easily be your half price item, so you'll want to make sure that you're buying it with other inexpensive things, because you don't want it to be the thing that is half price if you have things that cost more. So I'm just going to tie a bow, but I do want to make sure that this stays flat. Just like go and start over, right? I'm going to try to keep it so it kind of stays right there on the seam of where my two pieces of cardstock meet. All that work to keep it flat, and then that one kind of spun. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive right there, which hopefully then doesn't make me run out. I think I'll have enough to get it on the card, even if I have to add a bit more after. I have been doing lots of card giveaways because I have felt like I've had literally zillions of cards. So last month with purchases, I was giving away 20 cards. So a ton of you got 20 cards, and now I finally have just mostly cards that are current left. I have a few, maybe one little box, but I had boxes of cards, and I was so over having them take up so much space. But then I started to get a little bit panicked because a lot of you ordered and got the 20 cards free last month. It was a big enough number that I thought I was safe, that you had to spend to get the 20 cards for free. But it was the double whammy of getting the cards free with a purchase, but also getting the beautiful gallery class free and getting the cloud cover ink refill and empty stamp pad free. So when a bunch of you got one of those two things free as well as that, then I had a lot of cards. And so then I had to go find another box. And there's probably another box somewhere because, and so some of you are getting some vintage ones. But they're kind of cool. And the reason I still had them was because I thought they were cool and I'd hung on to them. But they were buried in my storage. I have a room that's mail and storage. And look, I just covered that up. I'll make this a little bit smaller. It was a good looking bow. Do you guys do that where your bow looks pretty good and you're like, it's bigger than I want, but it looks pretty, so I'm going to keep it? But that was covering up my words. I also tend to do that when the ribbon is retiring, because why bother? And then these, if you're in Card Club, these are the ones you're getting this month as part of the Cheers and Sips suite. So these are also holographic resin dots. So with Cheers and Sips, they look like bubbles. Over here, they just really match the colors because they're I think they're white, but they're holographic, so it really picks up the lemon lime twist, and then it has that nice little bit of freesia kind of in the back, and it has 3 sizes. So let's do one of each of the 3 sizes. So this is basic stamping. 2-step stamping. You wouldn't even, if you didn't run that through an embossing folder, then it's just inks, paper, stamps, and you could just layer the green back there. I just wanted a little bit of texture, and I wanted to show you something else that was part of a suite. So you can see here I used the other folder. So there you go. So you have, while supplies last on things, so if there's a part of a suite that you want, then I would not wait till the end of the month, because I know the last couple of the days of the month, things that may be running low on stock, which I have not checked. So if there's something that you're wondering, is it showing low stock? I'm happy to check for you, but I don't work on the weekends, and today is Friday. So I won't be able to check for you till Monday. Today, I'm going to be getting the beautiful gallery class shipped out. So once I get this posted and send the email out, I'm not checking my email. And then we're leaving early this afternoon to head downtown unless it starts raining. But our plan is to go downtown and do all the festivities that are down there for the NBA finals. So I'm going to be heading out a little bit early this lovely Friday with my family. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.